Secret on the defense. Where's your money for this one, Tim? Because the audience seems pretty split, 53-47.
I mean, looking at what we had last week, I've got to go with Outsiders here. I know Outsiders weren't perfect. You know, BDS sort of made difficult work of it at times, but I just feel like Team Secret were so far away from the pace in that Playday 1. I'm not saying they're not going to get there. Maybe we see a big improvement here in Playday 2, but just on what we've seen so far, I've got to lean towards Outsiders.
I really hope it's Outsiders. One, I predicted them. Two, Fresh is the only person that's gone Secret. And after he is meticulously VOD reviewed. I say VOD reviewed. Fresh's VOD reviews are more like 45 minutes of actual game review and probably 2 hours of talking to chat and going off about random things. It's beautiful. That's what I saw yesterday. That's slander, he tells me.
Slander.
He's the only one who's gone for Secret here. Clearly got a lot of faith in the boys. And the thing is, we did see some elements of strength from them last week. Outsiders, I know, had a really rough Playday 1, but I always say give teams 3 Playdays to really get a feel for how they're doing in the stage. Especially your first official. It can take a lot of time to really get back into things. Bans are flowing through there. We've got the Thatcher, the Maverick, the Mira, and the Kaid. For those of you who didn't know, Mira is now back in. The bug has been fixed, and she is now eligible for play once again. These bans, though, Tim, I'm straight away thinking about the office walls, where many teams historically have actually really struggled to push through.
Yeah, exactly that. We've seen the problem. I've got a bit of a problem with that wall in office. So Des, of course, is talking about the double wall leading in from the balcony in towards office. We're not going to be playing it this side. We are on Karaoke Tea this side, but later in the game you will see that wall. And I don't understand, to a degree, why it's such a magnet for the teams, because very little good often comes of opening it up. It applies a little bit of pressure direct into sight. You know, yes, it's something you've got to keep one eye on, but it's just so rare that we see winning plays come through or because of that specific wall being opened. I'm not saying don't open it. I'm saying give it 30 seconds of your time, and if you get it open, great, it's a little bonus. But, you know, throwing absolutely everything at that wall is, I think, sometimes a little bit of an overinvestment. We see, a lot of success coming from elsewhere. But this time we're going to be in Karaoke and Tea for round number 1. So what are you going to see? You're likely to see teams getting in from that office side and looking to push over, get control of Dragon, get control of Drum, and this is why you can see the Azami barricades being put at funky angles on the Drum there.
Yeah.
We've got ADSs there, a lot of utility stacked up towards that side just to prevent that push coming across top floor.
The occasional team will play a shield around there as well. Normally you see the shield at top side on Shrine, but some have played it around Drum to really help with that hold. I'm not saying it's like you've got 4 shields in back pocket here, but at range you essentially have. You know, Sleben here is going to be able to deploy these, again, not shields, but kind of pseudo-shields, which will help them hold down certain areas of the map. And that makes what is a very common hold, this Drum area in towards Terrace, a lot stronger for the side of Secret. So a good bit of change coming through there. I did want to touch really quickly on Smash, bringing along the Kali. Most teams just won't normally bother. They'll say, forget about it. We'll deal with things like electrification a different way around. They've just said, you know what, it goes from straight A to B. We're bringing the Kali along in case they have got something like a bandit on side, but there is nothing here to really deny them away.
Savage looking to hold on to this bottom floor. That nade is not looking pretty for him. There was absolutely nowhere to go. Pasha manages to close him out. Good entry for Outsiders, and that is likely to give them control of the bottom floor as well, so they can start opening up onto Geisha. And I tell you what, this Secret defense, it's being picked apart pretty quickly.
It is indeed. I mean, it's only the one so far. You won't really take off it too much. At the minute, at least for now, it's about holding those angles and waiting. No need to go too aggressive yet. They've still got half the round to play, Tim. But with this downstairs on side, you get these wonderful up nades that everyone's always talking about. The number of nades that can come flying up from below. There are still 3 in back pockets, so the members of Secret have got to be careful where they're putting those feet. You can see several members of Outsiders starting to work their way up the main stairs here. And look at the fortification Sleber's built for himself here. Locking off the doorway, a second point to fall back to on the Drum. Just really not wanting to give this away. And my small concern, Tim, there's only 60 seconds left, and yet they've not even made an effort at cracking this. So they want to try and go for a push up black stairs here, try and go in through the window and put all their focus inside of Karaoke.
Certainly do. They're going to need to get rid of Kendrew if they wish to do so, playing up at the top of those stairs at the minute. And as you say, Secret looking pretty comfortable at the minute to just try and hold on to their positions. But this is the start of the push from Outsiders. They've managed to get themselves into Geisha. FMX is going to be holding that angle through into sight. Kendrew taking some damage along the way as well. 30 seconds left to go. go, and Outsiders need to find themselves another kill. They need to find themselves some motivation. There's the spray down onto Sleben, but no idea. FMX have saved his location as he just bides his time, keeps himself patient, gets one, could get a second. No, going to be shut down by the Carly. 4 versus 3 now, 15 seconds.
Just a one tap down as well. 10 seconds left on the clock here, and by the looks of it, Outsiders are slowly going to be starting to get starved for time. Sleben with the longer angle sees the man, but loses the gunfight. Ras bringing him down. Keenan elsewhere is doing work. Kendra into another, but it's Pasha with a big 2K on the charge through at the end. Round 1 going to Outsiders.
Bit of a flurry it took at the end there. Kills coming in from Outsiders and Secret. They were wailing on each other, just throwing those big haymakers back and forward and just trying to get any sort of advantage, but ultimately Pasha with a 3K in the round was enough to close it out. Well played from him, and that is going to be Outsiders locking down the opener in Karaoke and T. They're going to move across here, a Team Secret, into their second choice site. It's going to be Office and Exhibition this time, so this is where we'll see how much attention is applied to that wall that I spoke about. Bottom of your screen now, currently being reinforced, and like I say, sometimes the attackers do seem to just get very drawn to it, whether they can get through there or not.
They do, and I think it may well prove to be the same here. There's no bandit on side. I don't think you're going to see Secret playing the downstairs denial. So for those who maybe don't remember, last time they played this against, I want to say it was BDS, what they did was bring the mirror along and play downstairs in bedroom.
They absolutely do. They don't, as I say, want to let this get away from them, and you feel if Outsiders win round 2 here in Office Exhibition, they've taken the 2 primary sites, really, and things start to get a little bit sweaty for Team Secret at that point, a little bit worrying potentially. So important round coming up for them here. Certainly not game defining, but one that they could definitely do with winning, because the problem for Team Secret now as well is I feel like they're in that sort of state where they've had a couple of roster changes, everything else, tough surge last stage, and you just think there's got to be a mental element there where they get into a game and a couple of rounds don't go their way. It's that not again sort of mentality, and that can be very difficult to shake. It can be very difficult to stay positive through things like that. So we're going to have a setup around the middle of the top floor again. We see it time after time after time. Dragon and Terrace particularly important. No matter which side you are defending, there's always going to be a presence there. They're always going to try and stop the attackers taking hold of that area because it's just such a good toehold to work from. So yep, this time same as Army Barricade, same keeper, but it is going to be working on the flip reverse.
Absolutely, but still the same sort of effect, right? Helps you hold off the other angle. Rask coming onto the Ossa was interesting because it's not like he's just dropped away any pointless operator for this lineup. He was a thinker they've now lost as a result. And we don't really see Ossa all that much on this site. She's much more brought to push into backstairs when trying to push into Karaoke and T. So I hope they've got a really smart idea here on what the use case is. Like you can see here, they have that long angle now challenge right down the balcony thanks to the shield. The other one they can use to get just inside a site and plant it in behind the shield. Got to be wary of downstairs. Got to be worried about this player off towards your left-hand side. So there are steps that Outsiders have got to work through first.
Nobody as of yet looking to go towards that run out. We're still having setup done by Outsiders. Going to have Claymores played as well. Second round in a row that we're going to have the Carly brought along. A little bit of an unusual one. Not an operator that we see getting a lot of play at this level, but an alternative to Thatcher and can clear out electronics. Obviously has the very, very zoomed in sniper scope as well. It is variable. It can be switched around, but for now we're going to have more of those up nades attempted by Pasha.
Well, I was thinking about it for a second and then changed his mind. Again, this focus should be entirely on this wall. There's 3 of them pushing up here as well. The Salma's going to come into play and get that wall opened up. No bother at all. As that nade comes in once again. Last time it was Savage. This time it saves. But Pasha still finding the first 2 entries in this game.
Great start for Outsiders, managing to take down the Jaeger. Kendrew looking towards that potential run out. Needs to be careful. He's not going to be aware that he could be running right into the face of that Ossa shield. But Ossa is now working the other way around. So just need to be careful about exactly which side of the shield she is playing on. Rask, he's going to have that peek inside on the Ossa. He's got himself onto the correct side of that shield to keep himself safe now, and he's looking in towards Dragon and Terrace to see if he can get one of those nice long peeks. Pasha, he's working through here. He gets an absolute freebie. That's 4v3 as a kill comes in from Sleben. Challenge is going to come in from Keenan in Dragon. Manages to just get that trade onto Pasha Kendrew to FMX. 3 versus 2, and this one continues to go back and forward as Smash. He sees Sleben and takes him down 2v2. 35 seconds left to go.
He's He's got to know about this player that's across this side of terrace. The man tries to get away from him here as well. He's left the diffuser at least for a couple of seconds. It is Kendrew dancing back and forth. Keenan with the close down as well. Smash left in a 1 versus 2 with this Carly. Sure, it's variable scope, but it's not really what you want for potentially close range 1v2s. They've got a ping coming through, so they have at least a small idea as to where the man is. Changes gun here as well, looking for these gunfights, but is he where about the man on the far side? No, he's not. Looks close as well. Great pre-fire, finds the down, but can he find the last? Down the stairs he goes. Keenan is out of there. He ain't interested. Down he comes, and Keenan wins the 1 versus 1. It's another close round, but at least Secret get on the board.
Keenan having absolutely none of that. He knew that all he needed to do realistically was survive. Yes, he took the gunfight at the end, but he knew he was going to be at a massive advantage doing so. Once he'd gone down those stairs, it was only possible for a hop over the balcony side to be able to actually do anything. So Keenan closes it out. Team Secret win what is a very important round for them, as I discussed previously, getting themselves on the board, keeping themselves level, and also holding on to one of their 2 primary sites just sends a message not only to outsiders but to their own players as well, and they managed to level things up 1-1 now.
I think my concern in that round, Tim, was a similar thing in round 1. We spoke about saves not being droned on the other side of the geisha box doorway, and in that round just then, you saw a similar thing once again, where the player that was on Dragon wasn't droned out. Pasha thought he'd done all the hard yards, and that was it. And maybe you'll make the argument, well, Des, he wasn't there before. He was playing on drum. Maybe he's rotated in after the droning is finished. And my question would be, why is the droning finished? If Pasha's your entry, in this case, making real headway, getting 2 kills for your team on his march through the map, stick a couple of drones at his feet, guide the man in, do some work for him to keep him alive there, because he got blindsided by that guy on Dragon, and that completely shut down their VIP push. So it's almost the same thing as last week for outsiders. It's the basics that are falling apart there, and that I think has probably cost them what could have been a comfortable round win.
7 drones plus the shock drones of Twitch as well, so still plenty of information available for outsiders, and that is basically going to be the phase that they're in at the minute, is moving into the building. We've got FMX on the drones as well as Smash, so still trying to gather that intel, but they should know roughly what the setup is going to be. They should have a good idea, because they're playing into very similar that they did in round 1, but I want to see outsiders having an impact on site a little bit sooner this time. It was about 15-20 seconds left to go by the time they were actually making inroads into getting in the map in crucial positions and pushing forward, pressure in sight. So needs to be a little bit of a quicker clearance from outsiders.
Changed around their comp quite a bit here as well. That Fenker's back in. They've got the Twitch on side now. There's no Carly in play, so small variation coming in, but really want the shock drones to be in here now and helping you get rid of these gadgetries like the ADSs that are scattered around. And shock drones feel a bit lost, Tim. Took a wrong turn. Lost in a dark alleyway somewhere, not quite sure where to go next. Ras with a wonderful shot coming in onto Sleben. Once again, finds the entry for his team.
And this is exactly what I was saying. They should know what they're up against. Sleben played in the same position with the same setup last time around, so they should know roughly where the challenge needs to be made. Rask showing us that that is the case. Save's just going to open up a couple of slats of the barricade there, I think, just to try and scare them more than anything, make them wary of a potential run out. But 2 Selmas will do the job on the geisha wall, and Saves, he's going to need to watch himself. He's trying to challenge this rappel here, but it could be a dangerous one. Nades goes out, almost finds Savage, and Team Secret, they feel like they're on the back foot at the minute.
Step back at the right time there as well. Kind of concerned that the drone game is now basically up for the side of outsiders. Only 3 left. One of those will be in back pocket. Down to only 2. So they are now playing blind, and this is what has bit them come this sort of time in the round, in the last 2 rounds, Tim. So as they step through, they've got to be really, really careful, or just accept you may well start losing members on this final push.
Getting back onto the drones as well for a last quick look before they start to push forwards towards the execution. FMX has got himself control of geisha now, so he can start holding those angles into both sides. Just make it a little bit more difficult for the defenders to play inside of there, to rotate, to move.
Again,
Pasha going to shut down Keenan. Pasha going big so far today. 5 versus 3. That was the flank that Team Secret needed, but Savage, he was unable to do the damage. Smash manages to get the kill onto him. The final 2 come in. FMX, Pasha make it flawless.
Well, there we go. All the focus was on Ras because he was the entry, and Pasha just down through the backside, finds himself a huge 3K. You almost saw for a second where Savage had that big 2K coming up main stairs, but Smash just had the cover. Yeah, Savage, half a second earlier, it turns into 1 kill, maybe 2, but was just a little bit hesitant, I think, in the moment. Maybe he did what we all do in ranked, Tim. Savage flanking on his own, okay. Also had Kendrew playing by himself. Okay, the player that was inside Karaoke that got vaulted into, also by himself. They're playing very kind of isolated, static play at the minute where it's like, okay, I'm holding drum, guys. Okay, I'm holding top black. Okay, I'm sat inside Karaoke. And there isn't too much reactionary play outside of the one guy that's pulling off a flank of some kind. And that's probably the conversation going there for Secret is, right, boys, comms up. Let's get moving. Let's get more up in their face, because right now, we're just sitting still and letting outsiders nade us for free. They're taking entries against us for free. They're yet to find anything, because Pasha got the first two and Ras got the third. This is where Secret needs to get more mobile and more active in the game, Tim.
Absolutely is. I agree with you. They can't let outsiders settle into rounds. They need to be challenging them, need to be making their lives difficult, not letting them get themselves into position to set up. This time, Kendrew has brought along the Clash. So we're going to see the classic. If you're struggling to get around, get yourself on the Clash. And that's what Kendrew's going to do. Hit that big red button and bring along the shield and just see if it can slow down the progress of outsiders.
Well, I remember from back in 2020 a really good Na'Vi versus G2 game, and it was on Cafe, and I think I've referenced it a few times, where Kendrew playing the Clash greeted Pengu's Monty, and they just basically followed each other through the entire map for about 2.5 minutes. Obviously, Pengu being held up by Kendrew, the team would kind of position around the Monty to try and pick off the Clash would back away, and this went on to a point that G2 had no drones, no time left. They tried to push in through Freezer Blind with the Monty, got sideswiped, and that was the end of the round from there. So Kendrew, a very, very comfortable shield player. Not at all surprised to see him saying at some point, okay, boys, we've got to slow things down a little bit here, control the game more. Clash sounds absolutely perfect.
Haven't had an entry yet. 1 minute in, we've got outsiders moving across the top floor. As I suggested, going to be a very similar attack to the one that you saw last time. Try and get Drum, try and get Dragon, try and move across, get top floor control, apply vertical pressure into sight, and then there's just that extra step of dropping down, of pushing from horizontally underneath as well. Now then, Pasha is going to be moving up, taking utility out of Dragon, looking to get himself into position there. More while my magnets getting burnt away. Right now, Team Secret are being forced back, Des, but the progress is slow from outsiders. We're over halfway through the round, and Team Secret are still reasonably comfortable to be up there.
They are generally quite slow. I mean, again, we've come down to that last 60 seconds. They've been down to 3 or 4 drones. You know, it's been very predictable at this point. And Fresh referenced it on the desk last week. Outsiders would just kind of sit around the main area of focus in the round, around the site, around the perimeter rooms, around actually getting inside the building. It was a bit rough. And Savage jumps onto Ras, finds the entry. That's the first one that Secret have found this game so far.
I'm loving this defence from Team Secret so far, just moving so slowly back across. There hasn't been any attempt to rigidly hold on to any specific room or area of the top floor. It's just like, it's a smart play, really. Right, let's just start. This is where our battle line is drawn across Dragon and Terrace, and then we just move back slowly. We just inch back and back and back and back, and they know they can burn 2 minutes doing that, and they've done so fantastically well. Outsiders do have top floor control now. Kendrew is still up there, continually being challenged by the Carly, but he's not going to budge an inch at the minute, trying to find those vertical angles, get that pressure inside of sight, but this is just going to come down to a drop from outsiders. They're going to have no option but to just go down this hatch and see what they can do, how they can work it best. Now then, Carly continues to try and pressure the Clash, of course, being able to move the shield, but the kills come up in reverse. Savage with the second on the round, 4 seconds left to go. All they can do is try and throw down the diffuser, but no, Secret have got the answer. Savage, Sleben, they finish off the round, and that's going to make it 2-2.
Much better round from Secret as well. Yeah, I think that Clash has given them such a headache, and I love the cheekiness of Kendrew. You've met them on the downstairs. Oh, what I'm going to do? March upstairs and remind you I'm still a thing. Hello, don't feel like you can get too comfortable. And then when they come in for the drop, he's there once again, just constantly greeting the main force of outsiders and slowing them down, reminding them that he's got all the information in the world on them, and that was a big difference maker in the round itself. As for outsiders, it reminded me of round 1 that we've just in here again. Everything was a little bit single-minded, a bit too focused on the drop itself. Not really too much in terms of backstab or 2 or 3 players trying to make a move elsewhere as well. It was just very much a kind of Hail Mary in the dying seconds of the round. It does bring us up to 2-2. So for Team Secret, they now step back in towards this exhibition and office defense. It is where they won earlier on. No big surprise to see them going back there once more.
No, it's going to be, you know, this is, it's an important round for Secret. I said it last time for Office and Exhibition. You know, they need to be looking at getting this one down. They managed it before. It's been good to them. They just need more of the same. Last time around, they were able to manage that balcony pretty well. It was a little bit, you know, sort of back and forward. We had a flurry of kills come in the mid-round. Ultimately, it came to a 1v1 escape on time. But I think Team Secret, with a little tweak or two here, can burn even more time and make it so it's a little bit less close.
I think the big change here really is FMX moving across onto that Thermite as well. Previously played on the Ace, that is alongside the Oster as well, to be fair. That's also been dropped away, but no doubt there should be focus on towards the Office wall. Instead here going in towards VIP, wanting this opened up at the same time. Given he is their second hard breacher, I thought we'd see him go towards the main wall and maybe have Habana come here. I don't think there's really a world here in which they manage to deny away the exothermic going onto the wall, but someone could run out or do something crazy, try and bring him down, for example, and then you're in for a little bit of hurt.
That's it. Sometimes it's just about that, you know, the unexpected, just making life difficult for your opponents. Pasha going to be working underneath once again. Team Secret, as we said previously, does need to address that. They're not doing enough to pressure underneath. They're not doing enough to prevent him going in and using those nades from below, and he has had some success so far. So in the minute, they're just going to be left to hoping that that is not the case. Kendry, he's going to have a little rotation around. We saw him play more than the majority of the round at small bar last time around, just into terrace, but this time he's been dislodged and forced right out towards reception. I'm
watching these next 60 seconds really intently because they've done what they need to. VIP is open, Breach is open. Great. Next play now is starting to set up for the execute. So think about what it is they're looking to do. They've got a couple of drones in. They've figured out where a few players are. Their 8 drones from 20 seconds ago are now down to 3. So they've chunked through all their information but not made a move. And I want to say it was Joystick who said this once on an interview for what was Team Empire back in the day. They said something to the effect of, we'd drone something, we'd drone it again, but we would not make a move. I'm starting to see the same from outsiders, Tim.
And it's dangerous. Like you say, it just burns time, burns confidence. Rask, he manages to burn Kendry though, shutting him down with the headshot there. Savage, he is seriously low health, close to being picked up, will be done by the Kali. A flurry of kills leaves us now in a 3v2. Rask is down though. He obviously doesn't have the nanobot boost available at the minute to pick himself up. Pasha, he's going to put saves down and there's going to be nobody to pick him up. There we go. The cooldown is over. Rask back on his feet. 3v1 all up to Sleben on the Azami, and he's away from sight. As soon as outsiders recognise this, they may have an opportunity to get in and put that diffuser down. It is in the hands of Smash at the minute, but as you say, just a little bit of a lack of information here.
They're not even going in for a plant. You know, it's been, what, 25, 30 seconds, and now they start making the move. A body shot onto Sleben doesn't finish him off from the Kali or put him down. It would have been an insta-kill given he's the last one left standing. Now the plant's coming through. Pasha gets the close down. I know it was at least 2. It could have been 3, but they get the round win, and that's what counts.
Much better from outsiders that time around. Felt much more in command of that attack, and that leaves them 3-2 on the scoreboard. Heading into round 6, it's going to be the final defence for Team Secret, and they're going to head back to Karaoke and Tea. It's a site that they've played twice and lost twice. There's so a little bit of a surprise there. If you're looking at that or you're looking at Office, at least you've already won Office once.
Exactly that. I think with how things are shaped up, though, it's just a concerning trend. Where outsiders again have kind of found themselves stalling out of time, yet Secret just can't hold on in that close. I mean, at the end of the round when it was the 1 versus 3, outsiders were being extremely cautious. I guess you can afford to be. You've got 60 seconds on the clock. You know, there's one man running around somewhere. You'd rather find him before you try and make your play at a plant. Probably would have said just go for the plant. We've got the angles covered here. It's okay. But on Secret's side, they're just crumbling once outsiders start piling on the pressure. Once the shooting starts and things go a little bit crazy, is that good old saying of, you know, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face, while Secret are getting absolutely pummeled and everything just seems to go out the window in that last 30 seconds.
That's it. Just need a little bit of a better response. You know, maybe a better plan B once territory is lost, once map control has been gained by outsiders. You know, just a little bit more sort of focus or stability in that adaptation towards the end of the late round. Smash then, he's going to be getting himself along with FMX up onto that balcony again. Karaoke Tea, so we're going to see the push come in from the south side. It's going to be about getting through and again control of Terrace, of Dragon, of moving through, sweeping across the map, very much as we saw the same on the push when it was the barbecue and kitchen site. Team Secret held it much better that time around. I'm a little bit surprised maybe that Kendra hasn't thought, right, let's bring that clash along again.
Yeah, I think here it's going to be a similar thing to what we saw back in round, I want to say it was 3. Yeah, it was in round 3 when Ras was challenging Sleben up on towards Drum. And it was just an easy swing to kind of get the kill off the back of a little bit of drone work. Now, Secret have already done what you need to be doing here, which is to waste a bit of time around the Drum and Terrace area. Shield on the north side, classic. Also got the Azami playing here behind a couple of ADSs. The Azami less classic, but the ADSs most definitely are. Just to stop nades being chucked around here and doing a little bit of work. So well locked in, and Pasha going to struggle to break this open without someone to chuck some flashes over his head, for example, and burn through those ADSs, and here they come.
That's 2, and that will burn the ADSs and just force the man out of that position. I'd expect to see another one goes in. There goes 4. The nade. It's going to clear out everything.
Value.
Gets the shield, gets 2 ADSs, gets a bulletproof camera, and that is absolutely maximising that utility, maximising his headshots. Rask, he gets himself an opener onto Savage, and that is going to leave Team Secret not only short-handed, but losing map control as well. And this is where we said, Des, when they're on the back foot, this is where we need a better response from Secret.
Rask is 3-1 on entry so far this game. Had an absolutely wonderful first half for a player that sometimes can be a little bit volatile and sporadic. Really enjoying that he's getting himself so involved in the game. Pasha, no doubt, been the hero of the moment so far, 7-2, and that's not looking at how he did back in round 1 either, which did start off with an entry onto Savage. So I think he's up to about 9 kills so far in the game.
It was 3k round 1.
Was it 3k not in round 3?
No, I thought it was round 1.
Maybe round 1 as well. I wasn't counting. Clearly you were. Either way, it looks to be a relatively similar push again with some coming in from Geisha side. That's the big focus for them here. And I was concerned about this last time. They haven't put all their eggs in one basket here. There's no one playing on the karaoke window. They've got 2 coming in from the east. They've got 2 trying to go in through Geisha. So it is a bit more spread out for outsiders. Much better versus last time.
Secret not in a terrible spot at the minute. Kendrew able to get onto the flank and play that very well. Doesn't go for a second. No, he does go back for more. He's going to get shut down, and that's going to be an immediate trade. I just feel like Kendrew's maybe gone a little bit too strong there. He got his success on the flank, and now Rask, he manages to shut down Sleben. Diffuser's going to be going down. It's all up to Keenan. 1v4. He's taking shots. He's taking a death as Smash manages to find him through the wall, and that is going to be outsiders taking the round.
Another one of those where they've just kind of said, right, now's the time to go, boys. We've got the cover in. Let's march forward. And someone walks away with a big 3K. 3 of those rounds in that first half are outsiders coming from big plays from Rask or from Pasha. I said it in the round. Both having a wonderful game so far today. And for Secret, again, it's kind of more of that same of just kind of sitting and let die. Sure, Kendrew had that one play coming through where he got down through the T-wall, down through gold, down towards the south side and got a kill onto 1. But you saw the immediate response from outsiders. 2 players staring him down as he came around the corner. Really good response from them, and overall a very convincing first half.
Well, that's the thing. Outsiders don't get that opportunity if Kendrew doesn't go back for more. And, you know, sometimes, yeah, it does take a bold play. You think, yeah, there's maybe an opportunity for more there. But with that couple of seconds in between, you've really got to expect that maybe that angle is then going to be being watched. You're on the smoke. You've got important utility. There's about 25 seconds left to go. You can start really burning some of that out potentially. So I'm not too sure about that play. The first flank, absolutely perfect. Maybe just a little bit ambitious going in for more.
Well, Secret are coming in with an interesting and spicy lineup off the bat, Tim. They've got the Ying, they've got the Glaz. You know what that normally leads to. A lot of smoke also coming out of the Thermite, and it just means that Glaz can really be high value. In this instance, Kendrew, no, bringing along the flashes instead. So the game plan has been set. You can see what the intent is going to be from the side of Secret. On outsider side, they've got the Bandit coming along here. Otherwise, a lot of their operators look much the same as what we saw coming out of Secret in the first half, except for that Malusi. Instead, they've dropped away things like the Mute. They haven't got a Jaeger on side, so small changes coming in, but fundamentally quite a big change in playstyle.
Well, I might have Ras just playing down on the bottom floor onto that single door, just I think trying to prevent the nade, usually using up nade to clear off the gadgetry from the reception wall to allow that to be breached and start the process of accessing the map. But it looks like outsiders don't want to be giving up that too easily. 45 seconds in, Team Secret still in the droning phase really. Rask is going to be spotted out there, so he'll hightail it back to site more than likely, but they do still have the Bandit of Milan to contend with. Smash, he goes on a big jump out, Des, and gets himself one. It's going to be a headshot onto saves, and that is, as far as Skyscraper goes in its newest form, that's the oldest run out in the book.
Isn't it just? And look at that, almost having the exothermic taken out. In fact, was it taken? I don't know if he opened up the wall on the other side. I think he lost it actually, yeah, outright. unfortunate. This next one goes down here. We'll be able to know the next one. This will definitely get off, and breach will be opened. A little bit squeaky bum time there coming out for Secret, but the wall is opened. They still have the tools for their execute. They've got no frag grenades on side, so everything is now spinning on the dime that is this Glaz and the Ying.
It's not a big problem, and Savage at the minute, I think he knows exactly where Pasha is playing on the Azami. It must have been spotted out, and Pasha's aware that there's a hunt on at least, but if he can come away with that kill, Savage on the lower floor, it will be a big, that's really not ideal.
Dear.
First smoke is going to be burned as it goes through. They can still use it for a little bit of an angle, but maybe not as much as they might have liked. Candela's going in, and there's going to be an opportunity for Kendrew to get this diffuser down, and he's likely to achieve it. There we go. It is successful. They get out a dodge. They get a kill on the way. 4v4 now with diffuser down.
Those were some really messy smokes out of FMX. They went everywhere except the spot where the plant was going down. One too shallow, one hit a wall, one was in the wrong corner. This could all be falling apart, but look at the aggression coming out here. That's a little bit messy, but Milan finds the kill. It's a 3 versus 2. Keenan is just holding the angle, waiting. They know where the man is here. Can they get the kill? Yes, they can. They'll get away with the defuse here, and Secret are down 5-2 to Outsiders.
Smash going absolutely wild at that kill there. Just shows you exactly what it means to Outsiders here, and that was a big retake for them. Having the Glaz out on the balcony, being able to secure that challenge was massive for Outsiders. I want to give a little bit of a hand to Team Secret there. They did a good job getting that diffuser down. As you say, there was a little bit of messy smoke play coming out of FMX. You know, there could have been a better opportunity, but it's never easy playing into the smoke canisters of the attackers. Your vision is completely impaired, and it can be difficult to know exactly where you're dealing with, where you're wanting that smoke to go, where the shots need to land. And so it was well played from Team Secret to take that opportunity. Smoke's going, Candela's going. It was all nicely timed. Diffuser goes down. They just couldn't hold on to it and couldn't keep the aggression of Outsiders at bay.
I want to say Says is on par to match Rise's 0-12 performance last week, but it's just not been a good start for him at all here. Playing on entry in most of the rounds as well. He played Jaeger 5 times back in the first half. He played Finker in the last round. We're just not seeing the impact come out of those operators so far, or specifically out of Says.
I always love the slow-mo replays.
I can't talk
where the
when I hear that in the background.
Over the top. It's like a horror film. It's like a horror film.
The kills and the diffuser's going down.
I think you should cast an entire round like that. Imagine then.
Just walked back in with the weirdest look on his face.
Imagine though, if you casted a round like that and then they played a replay that was slowed down again.
Oh, could you imagine? It'd be like, ooh. It'll be absolutely terrible. Let's hope that never happens, and let's definitely not try and do that in this round. 5-2 for Outsiders then. Let's go Secret. Come on, boys. You can get yourself back into this. It's been a rough start. It's not been the dream start they were looking for. That much is for sure, but I really feel like Outsiders in that last round, they scrambled. Once that diffuser went down, they were in, and Smash yet again has found another entry.
Big start for Outsiders. That's the second time that he's done it
as well.
I think it might have been.
Oh,
that's the second time that he's got away with that. Team Secret, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They have to be looking alive if they know that Outsiders are going to play with that aggression. And I tell you what, if you get away with it once, all it's going to do is fill that team with confidence, and it's likely to come again. They've lost the Zafir, important utility there in terms of being able to burn through those Wamai magnets, stun grenades that can help you clear roamers, can help you locate defenders. You've got the LMG 150 round mag that's gone as well. It is a big loss for Team Secret.
Oh boy, and now we come back to a point where we saw Outsiders attacking into back in the first half a couple of times, being held up by Drum, being held up around Shrine. It's all stuff that we've seen before. The big difference here is going to be seeing how Secret tackle it. They've made this hold themselves. They should be knowing what to go through here. Arguably both teams should really know, and they are slowly getting themselves through. You can hear those sound cams coming absolutely rifling out on that top side as well to give all the information. A little bit of aggression coming out of Smash, playing on the Ronin. He tried that the other day, by the way. I love that gun. Clearly, Smash can't use it in this instance. Kendrew getting the kill. The 4 versus 4 ensues.
Milon, he's going to be trying to hold on to Geisha. He's going to continue to contest this. He's not going to dip himself away. Wants to continue that 4v4. It's not a surprise with 55 seconds left to go. He knows if he can burn another 20 to 30 seconds in here, it's going to be a big portion of the remainder of this round. And also, it keeps Geisha in the control of Outsiders, which is going to be a big part of this defense. Upnade is going to miss. The Warden continues fighting. Milon keeps himself in a position and gets a kill onto Kendrew on the the upside down rappel.
This one?
Big play. Up nade goes off again, but
Savage.
no, they just cannot get into Geisha.
I mean, you're throwing nades that are now hurting you and not the opponent. Throwing nades is entry 101. They should have that down on lock, but small mistakes being made. Savage chunks out a bit. Pasha gets another. Milan on the side swipe. Savage with the trade back, but he's 1 versus 3. Outsiders are looking to go up 6 and 2 as they are decimating Secret at every turn.
Milan's just had a great round there. He has absolutely no business and no right to hold on to Geisha for as long as he did and get 3 kills along the way. They had the wall opened. He should have been forced out of there, but Secret couldn't do it. It felt like they were just pushing as individuals. They weren't timing things, working together. They had Kendra on the upside down rappel. They had the man underneath throwing up nades. They had one ready to push up those drum stairs. None of them could get the job done onto Milan, and it was a big problem.
Every time we say up nades, I just think about up dog.
What's up, dog?
Thanks, Tim. I'm so glad you humoured me on that
You're
one.
welcome. I'll give you that one.
Thanks. Really appreciate it. Every time I hear up nades, I just can't get out of my head. It's killing me. Last round potentially coming in. Outsiders, 1 more to go, and it's a comfortable 7-2 over Secret coming in. That's the dream start to the season for them. With how last week went down as well. I mean, you can't really say much more than that. I will say, the one thing I do get a bit concerned about for Outsiders, less on the defense, but more on the attack, is how they're going to stack up against the big teams. But we always say that about every team that does well. It's like, okay, you're playing well here against teams in the bottom half of the table. When you're against the ones in the upper half, is that same play style going to translate well?
Well, I mean, we've seen Outsiders against BDS last week. Didn't get the win. Did push them, but didn't get the win. I think, if they come up against some of those bigger teams later in the stage and they have a bit more time to work, develop, continue, the process that they're undergoing at the minute, then I think, maybe they could make a challenge to them. But I don't think, necessarily going to be getting regular wins. And as you say, a win against Team Secret, playing as they are at the minute, is not necessarily, the biggest advert, because there are mistakes coming out of this Team Secret side.
Absolutely. I wonder if we find another entry coming in this round as well for Outsiders. They've only dropped 1 the entire game so far. They are 7-1 on the entry. The majority of those coming across to Rask, who's got 3. Pasha has 2. Smash has 2. The worst thing is both come from jump outs as well. Please, let's not see another.
I think there's just
They
been
just
some,
tried. They
there's just
impacted
been
the Claymore.
I was going to say there's just been some explosives launched out of a window there just to try and clear out the Claymores. Now then, fight is going to be lost. Sleben manages to get FMX. Savage onto Smash. Sleben left on low health, but there will be the possibility of getting boosted up by that Finker as well. Keenan will still have nanobots available to give him some of those HP back. 5 versus 3 now, and Secret are in a much better position.
They are. Low HP, but should be able to get juiced back up by Keenan. Kind of surprised the call hasn't come in for Sleben already at this point. Here we go. Easy shotgun. Pump down goes 1, and it's not quite equalised the scoring, but it has removed some of that topside threat.
Yep, good little peek there. It brings us back to 4 versus 3. Outsiders looking to continue burning time. Savage just moving in on the knock there. I'm not sure if he's just signalling for that door to be open for him or not, but they're certainly looking to get inside a site. He's just signalled that it's barricaded off and that they can start to push forward. Now then, the Pulse, he's not got an idea. Kendrew, he's going to secure the diffuser plant there, and Outsiders, Des, they've let Secret in here.
They've got to come off with a really magical comeback here as well. In comes Pasha. Does he know about the man to his right? Yes, he does, and finds the kill. A 3v3, but they've only got 20 seconds to pull this off, Tim. It's a big effort required, because now they're the ones essentially attacking back into their own defense at this point. Down goes one more as Milan finds him. One more around the corner. Saves almost with that. Finds his first kill of the game. It's a 1 versus 2. Milan, I don't think, pulls this all the way back, but he's definitely going to try his very, very best. Knows where a couple are. C4 onto the soft wall as he steps around the corner. Out comes Saves, gets his second of the game, and wins Secret their second round.
Well, not a bad attack from Secret overall, but I think it was handed to them a little bit by Outsiders.
I mean, Outsiders were caught asleep at the wheel there, Tim.
They just gave them far too much space on site. The thing is, sometimes you will allow players to, you will allow teams into the site. It can be that you play specifically for a retake strategy. But they didn't really play for that either, because once the diffuser went down, Secret were just in control of that post plan.
I think there was too much reliance on the Pulse there.
Yep.
They really hoped that he'd be getting a scan across in towards Geisha or down below him in towards Pantry.
Stop the plan.
But the problem was they came in through the window inside Kitchen itself, where they didn't have any kind of surveillance set up, and you saw the exact outcome. Really well taken by Secret to identify that opportunity. They could get away with a play like that, but it's still a long hill to climb. The thing is, Tim, It's a 6-3 scoreline, and in EUL, there is a bit of a story about 6-3 scorelines from last week. I don't want to say it's doable, but it's possible.
I mean, not just from last week, last stage as well. You know, we've seen Eminem do it
true.
twice now. You know, the old Eminem tactical timeout is becoming a thing. You know, they did it to BDS. We're just going to have saves dropping out of the game, so we will let the admins sort that one out, and we will see what happens. But for the time being, 6-3 to Outsiders, and interestingly, they're going to be going down to Master Bedroom as their site does. I think this might be the first time that I've seen this in pro play.
May well be.
Personally,
just a quick comment. We'll find out in a moment about the rehost because I think it's an issue on his side rather than like a game bug or something. You have like 15 seconds in prep for it to work out for you essentially. So they have to play 4 versus 5. Unfortunately, them the rules. Can't do much about it. Onwards we play.
Not ideal timing, that much is to be said. But Team Secret, you just got to play with what's in front of you, and 4 versus 5 is exactly it. So Kendrew and the rest need to get themselves an entry kill here. That's the top and bottom of it. They need to level things up. They could do with doing it quickly. Maybe just recognise where there's a roamer, go in en masse, just guarantee yourselves that opener so you're at least coming from a 4v4.
Now, I'd like to go back to your previous point, Tim.
Feel free.
You said we haven't seen it in a long time. What was it you said, sorry?
I said I'm not sure that Master Bedroom, I'm not sure that I've casted it.
I haven't cast it, but we have seen it played in NA. I want to say it was the Sonics who played it. I think it was, but we definitely saw it get played in NA.
My point was that, having casted it, but
no,
it's very rare even still.
I think we have actually, because I've seen teams play this vertically and you get a really good challenging angle where you can see this breach from upstairs. So maybe I have cast it. It's in my head and I'm thinking about it.
Rask is downed at the minute, and that is a good start for Team Secret. As I said, they needed that entry. There is going to be an opportunity potentially for him to be picked up here, but you can just see
self-res.
That's it if he gets himself over there. Needs to remember to press the button.
There we go.
There you go. It's not an automatic thing, so he needs to get himself in range and then needs to just select the choice to get himself back on his feet. 5 versus 4 still, but not a bad start for Team Secret. Rask at least low health. Going to juice himself up a little bit with another shot from one of those salvation stations. We see Pasha go down to low health as well. Takes the challenge, but dips away. 1 minute 10 left to go, and Secret feel...
Oh, no!
Secret...
No!
I will change Secret field to Secret felt like they were on top then. Keenan, he manages to get a couple of kills to bring them back into it, but a 3 versus 2 is not going to be easy from here.
I mean, Keenan's almost pulling it back, found a 3, but it's all come down to 1. Superpower player or not, it's time to find out. Can't get it. FMX with the shutdown. Outsiders take the 7 and 3. And Secret, not the dream start to this season they were looking for.
No, absolutely not. You know, obviously difficulties in that last round, meaning they were playing 4 versus 5, but realistically, I don't think they can feel too hard done to by the result. Outsiders have gone in there and they've won it. They've been on top of that for the majority of the game. There's been mistakes from Secret as well along the way, so I think really we've got a pretty well-deserved win.